What's up? It's RJ and Drew here, between sets with HMHD, and today we got...
I thought you were going to introduce us.
Powerplay, dude.
We're Powerplay.
Take it again.
Once again, if you could just say your name and like what you do in the band.
I'm Adam. I sing.
I'm Julius. I play drums.
Hell yeah. How long have you guys been a band and been kicking it as you guys?
What was it, 2021? Yeah.
So, coming out of the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic.
We never left it.
Yeah, no shit. Medicine is a hoax.
Leave it in.
Coming out of the time where where it was under a more strict quarantine, Julius and our original guitarist Victor reached out to me. I have known Victor since we were in like high school years, going to shows over the years and everything, and were discussing it, and he was like, yo, do you still write? You know, you haven't done a band in like 15 something years. And I was like, yeah, I'm down to come check it out. And, you know, we jammed out with each other, and vibe just felt right. And it kind of just took form from there, and just kind of riding it, you know, with the wind behind our backs type thing.
Took many forms from there, but that's where it started.
And then how many different sounds did you guys go through before you kind of landed on your guys' sound?
No, it was like automatic right off right off the get. Like Victor had like a couple riffs, and he would just kind of lay them out, and then I'd plug in my drum parts, and we just kind of structure a song from there. And then Adam would come in and we'd all just kind of help out with the structure after that, and then vocals. We had that same, like, I don't know, like that kind of punk, hardcore punk sound.
There was
original kind of stuff we wanted to do.
I mean, that's essentially the gist of it. Like we had some conversations, like preliminary, like, you know, when like things were just starting to come like tuned together and everything, and it was like, what do we want to sound like? Do we want to just want to be a moshy band? Does it want to be, you know, this? And because we are all so very eclectic as far as our personal musical tastes, we decided we didn't really want to pigeonhole ourselves into any, you know, division. And I think my exact words were, if everybody hasn't listened to it, go home, listen to Refuse Shape of Punk to Come, and I'm not saying we sound anything like them. Like that's the whole thing.
One of my favorites.
But it, like
it's one of my favorites.
To me, that is the holy grail.
Yeah.
And it really, the name of the album's sake is really what it was. It was the Shape of Punk to Come in every facet of it. And so it was, you know, but you listen to that album and nothing sounds the same, but it somehow flows into one another.
Yep.
And that was really how we came together as a band and really formed that mission of like, if we feel like doing a fast, you know, punk hardcore thing, if we feel like doing a chugga breakdown thing or a metal riff, like
a little
fuck
like
it,
thrash thing, or we had that one little let's get weird with it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like we have that sludgy song "No Light" in the middle of our set and in the middle of our EP, and it's literally was just
it's just a really like groovy bass line.
It was like a jam.
Sometimes it just works.
It was just fooling around jamming.
I love it so much.
Dork. Nerd.
You had yours already.
No, but I can.
I really wish he walked in and in the background you just heard, oh, is there any more room for the Suckfest in here?
I'm kind of sweaty, but it's all right. It doesn't stink, only that bad. But I can kind of attest to that too. Like you guys say, you just jam. Like you said, you would get the parts, you kind of plug in your drums. But there's also been plenty of times in the past where somebody just plays something weird. You're just like, keep playing that.
Yeah.
And you end up building, like you're working on this, but then you just go to something else.
Completely something else. And that's kind of where it started.
Yeah.
It was like, that's when Adam was like, yeah, you know what, whatever. We have an idea. Let's just roll with the idea. We don't have to sound like those first two songs. We don't have to sound like that hardcore punk sound, you know. But we have that too, you know.
Not the Andrew we have now. We had another
Andrew number one.
Andrew number one. 1A, because I don't want to shit on our Andrew. I love Andrew.
I'm not shitting on this. Is what he saved as on my phone.
So originally, actually, it was me, Julius, Victor on guitar, and his brother Jose on bass. Jose moved over to North Carolina, and a longtime friend of mine and Victor's, Andrew, joined the band and played bass for us. And one night, the three of me, Julius, and Andrew were hanging out at in a practice space, and he just starts dicking around with this little bass line, and we're just like smiling, nodding, and I go, "Stop! That's a song. I don't care. I like the way this sounds," and it kind of just like it literally just
it just sometimes it works, you know, and it's like sometimes you know it works, sometimes maybe we'll go back to it, but it's just wild. Though.
So it's so funny we get so mixed reviews because like the traditional I love hardcore and nothing else kids are like, that song's weird. Fuck that. And then everybody else will come up to us and be like, yo, honestly, it's my favorite song you guys have. And I'm like, it's so very like.
But they are afraid to say it, right?
they go to natural.
Well, yeah, I mean, the first
really
time
like that song.
the first time I actually saw you guys was with when you guys played with Agnostic Front. So it's like,
nice.
yeah. So and you know, I'm old school. I love
Is that our second show?
I think it was literally our second show.
It was a while. I think it was one of the first shows back from the COVID.
Ooh.
But you know,
The COVID.
but
Yeah. Debauchery.
yeah, that was that debauchery. It was the domain was domain. You guys, yeah.
And AF. Cold Side. He's referring to it as the COVID because much like Facebook, somebody just texts him off and goes, "Drop the. It's just more cleaner." COVID.
Oh. I can't say what I
So
want to say.
this basically
We'll get demoted. No, but that's pretty cool.
when did we get promoted?
I don't know.
Sponsored by your mother.
Oh my God, I love this so much. This is fun. So I guess another thing we want to, and I know for a fact the first time I had met you was at that show, and I know we talked each other's ears off because we were talking about old bands that we had been a part of, and I know that our old bands have probably played shows in the past together. So what other projects have you guys been a part of before?
Okay.
And you don't have to say, but if you don't, but you know.
Well, he was in Sueños.
I was in Sueños. I was in Stand Proud. I was in a short-lived band called Fortunato, which actually was a kind of all-star lineup in a way. But unfortunately, that just some things, played a couple shows, and it went where it went. And then, being. I'm not the oldest in the band anymore. I can't say that anymore. Being the second oldest in the band at 40 years old, real life takes over sometimes, and you start focusing on career. And it's one of those things like growing up, because we were talking about all the stuff back in our days, and a lot of the lyrics, especially, growing up seeing bands like Until the End, where you'd hear Pete literally scream, "It's all I fucking have."
Yep.
And it was really, the anthem of what hardcore was. And, but eventually you also reach an age where you're like, it is a big piece of what I have, and it has shaped me as a human being in so many ways, but it's also not all I have. There are so many other facets to this world that get left unexplored if you kind of just shove yourself into that box. And so because of that, we posted video while we were driving up here of us driving to the Eurovision Song Contest soundtrack, jamming out to Fire Saga, we
were listening to butt rock.
Divorced Dad Rock on Spotify.
Yeah, that's what we listened to on the way up here.
Which Divorced Dad Rock are we listening to?
You got
your Taproot, your Crossfade,
you got your Nickelbacks.
Eve 6 is phenomenal. Don't.
I saw them at Fest last year. They were so good live. Yeah.
You give me a lineup with Eve 6 and the Gin Blossoms. I'll fucking drop off any hardcore show.
The Divorced Dads in
and go to that
2004 were listening to Eve 6 before they got married. So
God damn it.
It makes the list that way.
It does. Yeah.
Hard in a blender.
But there were projects throughout time, but ultimately then went into the career mode and had to get life right, and then lucky enough to do this at 40 years old, thinking hey, I'm never gonna get to do this, and now we went and did a couple dates with Comeback Kid down in Central America, and
that's fucking
got to play in Panama
with them down there.
Got to play in Panama and Costa Rica.
That's awesome.
And maybe
what was that? Sorry to cut you off. What was that like playing down? Because we play a lot of bands from South America and Europe. I mean, but it's just wild to me because whenever I think South America, I don't think about Comeback Kid. You know what I mean? It's just
I think they hadn't been there. Yeah, I think they hadn't been there. Was it 16 years?
It was 16 years
since
for them.
They had been there, and man, they just went off. Those kids are so fucking hungry.
Yeah.
You know, so they get it, like they instantly get it. Crowd is wild. It's just
Costa Rica
super nice
has-
people, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Costa Rica has a wild scene. I mean, that show is fucking sold out. Like
awesome.
like
Yeah.
That's so
I think
cool.
it moved venues like 3 times.
We're
or
not
something.
we're not green room people. We're like, hey, let's get out there and schmooze and everything.
Dude, just people
and,
go play
and
them.
it was
What
it was
the
just
fuck?
so it was so packed and so sweaty and so hot. And there
we're
was
in the
even like
green
a
room now.
balcony area.
So it's like here.
It was it was literally like, I can't wait to sit in the green room and just like stand where the one fan in the venue is.
Dude, I went to like a balcony all the way on the other side and just like popped up on a table and watched it from like
Just
across
get some,
the
get some
room
air, right?
and just seeing like chaos all around me, and I'm
That's
just
awesome.
like,
But honestly, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out loud to Panama, and in particular Panama City Beach, or Panama City Beach. That's Florida. Panama City.
cut that.
We can cut the beach part. Panama City.
Two different things.
You get into Panama City, and it is so much reminiscent of like Miami, late '80s, early '90s
Okay.
in terms of design. But
Oh, yeah.
also, Panama is the Melbourne of Central America. It is the town that gets skipped over by most of the tours that come through there, or most of the bands that come from the
Okay,
United
I get
States.
you. Big,
So
yeah,
everybody
okay.
does Colombia, and they do Medellin and Bogota, and then they get on a flight and jump instead of going through Panama.
I gotcha.
They jump another country north and go to Costa Rica.
I gotcha.
And so I had the pleasure of making friends with some people at Furnace Fest that like put this whole thing together. I have never been treated like at that level, and like I'm a dude where it's like, yo, just show me the sights, like you don't. And like they were sitting there and like they took us to like this crazy food truck park, and like they went out of their way to like slip their credit card to the food truck guy that was like serving us. The food truck guy, they were like, oh, it's a band from Miami that came down, and the guy's giving us like a bunch of free samples.
Oh, that's
and wants
cool,
us to
man.
try all
That's
the
awesome.
stuff. But just the way that we were treated, and honestly, like I have to say this, Distrito Olvidado, did I say it right? Because you're the Hispanic one, not me. and Cardiophone.
Cardiophone.
Cardiophone is Central America's answer to Killswitch Engage. Like, we are trying our best.
You're gonna have to
get
write that
them-
down for me.
we are trying our best to get them over here. Like, it is Killswitch peak, like Howard singing for Killswitch. Like,
It's so crazy that you bring that up. We were talking about that with Spit Truth about we do, like I said, we just find music. I don't always know where it's from, but then I'll see it. So we do a lot of bands from Europe, a lot of bands from South America. So we found a couple bands that we really like from Chile and Brazil. And I don't know what we could do as far as getting them here, but we did help them as far as trying to find them distribution through the United States, like some low run. Entry Fuego, I think they're from Chile, and then oh man, I feel so bad. What was the other one? I'll cut this out. But no, we found some really, really cool stuff. Well, that's why I was asking. We found some really cool stuff from down in South America, and it's just, it rips, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It
Well,
rips.
100%.
The lineup we played with Comeback Kid in Costa Rica was stacked from top to bottom. It was Rise Up. I'm gonna mispronounce it. You say it, because Toma.
Tome riesgo.
So-
Take the risk.
Okay.
So it's,
They're Ecuadorian, and like so
Ecuadorian or El
Okay.
Salvador? El
El
Salvador.
Salvador. Yeah,
I want to think it was a.
Yeah,
I
we
think
can
it was
cut
El
that out
Salvador.
too.
Yeah.
Toma riesgo. They're like
I'll make that part louder.
So these dudes.
Wise Up, Living End.
No Face. That was the other band.
That sounds familiar.
I think they're.
sounds familiar.
I think that. I'm probably fucking
you're
it up.
right, though. No,
I think it
I
might
think
be
you're right,
Brazil.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I know No Face was from South America. I just can't remember exactly what country. But I helped. I tried. That's the band I tried to get through help with the distribution.
So
Cool.
Tomo, it was cool because playing with them, we didn't know it. So like apparently they're like basically like Central American royalty. They are what Minor Threat is here.
Oh, wow.
They are for Central America. So they're like, from what we were explaining, like they're the ones that brought the straight edge movement into
Okay.
the region. And so like it was really cool, and like nicest dudes ever. Like they, as soon as we were done playing, they're like, yo, we love your guys' message. We love the old school sound. Like, let us know when you want to come back down. We'll book shit in our neck of the woods.
Yeah,
So like,
and we played Panama the night before, and like all our Panamanian friends were like, "Holy shit, you're playing with them!" Like, "Oh my god, we grew up listening to them. They changed our fucking lives." So they were super stoked for us. And then we played with them, and we met them, and yeah, they're an amazing band.
It's awesome. I'm so jealous. Just play in my living room.
It all starts somewhere.
No, I know. Like, no, but that's cool. I'm glad. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you guys are definitely. I'm glad we got to come out. I remember you guys played recently in Melbourne, and I had to go to work during your set. I was like, I remember like giving everybody a hug goodbye, and I was like, fuck, I got to go to work. But
No, yeah, it was awesome getting Deadface to play with us again, and it's funny because I get so many bands that ask me because I usually handle a lot of our booking and stuff where they're like, yo, like if you guys ever need another band, I'm like, message me, but like remind me instead. Like I'm doing 30 things at once at all times, and like he pinged me at like the right moment. And I was like, I think Deadface is not only playing this, but they're doing our Gainesville show, which is our last show on the tour.
They're doing the Carolina show. That's the one I saw. Yeah, that's the one I saw. Yeah.
So just, I love hanging out with nice dudes and you know that play heavy music. And it's one of those things. So much in the scene these days. I love this resurgence of hardcore that has happened since the pandemic.
It's so fucking good. It's so good. I'm so happy.
But more importantly, I love that. It seems like the chip that used to reside on everybody's fucking shoulder has dissipated. And everybody's now in a different mindset where it's like, it's not about like everybody fighting one another at every show. It's not about all the
it's way more like welcoming.
Sure. Right. Like I mean, and it's one of those things like I'm 40, our guitarist Vivi is 50. And so, like, we're sitting there, and like we see all the kids showing up in like the fishnets and all the androgyny and everything.
It is a total 180 from when I was a kid.
But for me, I'm born in '83, so my viewpoint is, yo, I grew up listening to The Cure. Disintegration, in my opinion, is the greatest album that anybody's ever made from any band. So I'm like, I'm all here for the androgyny. This is the '80s for me. This is what I grew up on. You know, everybody thought Mickey Freed in the Revolution with Prince was a woman for the first like 6 months that he was in the band. So I'm here for it. Like, you know, like
it's.
And it's part of that same thing. Like I mean, we have a merch that's done in rainbow print that we just did for Pride Month, and the majority of those proceeds are actually going to Safe Schools South Florida, which protects the LBGT youth and helps like, you know, do like give them that right pathway that we don't lose these kids that are young that are exploring who they really are and everything like that. And that's something that's very dear to me. Not, you know, like I mean, at the end of the day, we're a band of 5 straight dudes, but like it's one of those things where it's the understanding of other communities. It's the understanding of other people's plights. It's the understanding that other people go through shit. And just because I haven't experienced it doesn't mean that I can't be empathetic towards whatever the cause is or the situation to make sure that, like, you know, nobody's going to shut the white guy's voice up in America. So I might as well stand on my soapbox and fucking scream till my lungs turn fucking red or blue or whatever it is. That, hey, these people deserve the same fucking rights that we all do.
Well, isn't that what hardcore gave everybody else? It's a place to go and say fuck it and just 100%. Be yourself and just do it and just go and say fuck it and not have to worry about, you know, being judged and all that shit. So I mean, I think that's a
exactly. And at the core of it, that message still continues. Yeah, there's always people that are, you know, in certain places that feel certain ways, and we all have opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and they're all full of shit. But. But you know, at the end of the day, we're thankful for all the opportunities that we get, and you know, like I mean, from everybody that's been in the band, everybody that's currently in the band. I mean, right now we're on tour, and like I said, our guitar player Vivi is 50, and his 13-year-old daughter is our second guitarist on this tour.
That's awesome.
So you know,
fucking awesome.
And like. And like, there's people
that
are
a 13-year-old, so like.
Yeah, I was gonna say your daughter's 13 now too, right? Damn.
And there's people that are gonna feel mixed feelings about that, and it's like, first of all, I've known the kid since before. I've known her parents since before she was born. Like between her dad and her and you know Uncle Adam, like nothing. Like look at her the wrong way. We fucking dare you. But like. She was like everybody was looking at her last night playing, and it was her first time playing on stage in front of people, and just shredding, like absolute shredding.
That's awesome.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. Next
now
band's
lead guitarist.
What's that?
She's now the lead guitarist. She knows the songs better than her dad.
We hate to cut this short because I'm sure we could be talking for little hours.
Yes.
But this band's getting ready to start, so I mean, real quick. You guys are currently on tour. Anything else coming up? A new album, EP, anything coming up for release?
No, when we get back from tour, we'll definitely be working on some new ideas.
Hell
we
yeah.
have a whole bunch like in the archives, and we're just gonna bring them to life.
All right.
So hopefully it'll be something new.
There's a lot of things that have taken shape. There's a lot of lyrics written. There's a lot of music that's written.
Good.
Some of it doesn't clash, so it just means more and more. There's a few good ideas for throwing together some maybe a sneak EP with some 80s redux hardcore.
Adam, we said we weren't going to talk about that.
Dive bomb.
Well, I'll cut it out. I'll cut it out.
That's the most we'll say about that. But,
It's gonna take Drew 3 months.
but ultimately,
No, it's fine.
ultimately, like you know, we're stoked that so many people are coming out and hanging out with us on this tour. You know, it's weird headlining because it's that imposter syndrome sinks in where you're like, am I supposed to be doing this or you know whatever? But at the end of the day, we're all about having fun. We're all about meeting new people. You know, so between 50 kids versus 500 kids, I'll take 50 kids that get the message and that want to fucking participate every day. And at the end of the day, this tour is really dear to me because right afterwards I'm having neck surgery. So it's one of those things. That's why we're gonna have so much time to write. I'm gonna be down for the count for a little bit, and that'll give us the opportunity. But I mean,
hey man, we look forward to hearing it, and then we'll make sure to definitely when you guys get it all ready, we'll definitely put it up and help promote you. Put it everywhere, man.
We appreciate
you
it.
know,
Thanks so much.
heavy music, medium dad bots. I mean,
It's so hot in here.
It's sure.
No, man, this is, dude. We got to get you guys on a show one day.
Absolutely.
This has been so much fun, dude.
absolutely. And thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for doing this.
Yeah, man, for sure.
We're stoked to have the music video shoot here tonight in Orlando.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put on my tank top for that one.
Real fast before we leave, look at the camera and give the camera one band that they have to listen to. Besides yourself.
Play Power. Never mind. Wait, hold on.
It has to be a hardcore band.
No. Whatever you guys think is great.
Whatever you're listening to now or whatever, just
Spit truth.
I mean, we're on tour with them, so yeah, that's an easy one. I'm gonna go non-hardcore then. I'm gonna be weird.
That's fine. Let's do it.
I'm gonna say Dream Car.
I'm gonna have to check that
All
out.
right,
So Dream Car is everybody from No Doubt with Davey Havoc singing.
Oh shit.
What the fuck? Okay, cool.
yeah.
Definitely gonna have to check that out.
A couple years out, it's amazing.
That's all right.
It's fucking really good.
Yeah, we'll have to check that
Like
out.
I said, we're weird and eclectic. Not everything has to be beating each other's asses.
Okay, yeah.
Too old for that. I'm too tired. Well, thanks for checking it out, and we'll
Thank you.
put it up.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.